Hey everybody, this is my solar project for this semester. I started out with one solar panel, but I decided to get a second one because I was going to expand it anyways. So these are two 100-watt solar panels. That was kind of interesting because they're the same brand, the same manufacturer, but I guess the cells on the newer one on the left that I got might be a little more efficient because obviously they cover a smaller surface area. But I hooked them up in parallel, so that way it's still 12 volts um, to charge my single 12-volt battery that I have. But I ran the wires in through the side of the house here. I don't know if you can see down in there. I kind of dig the waterproof connectors that come with these things because it's obviously they're going to be outside, so it's a good thing that water's not going to get in the connections. I guess from here I'll go inside and show you how it's working. So here we are inside the house. This is basically where I ended up taking over this corner of the living room to power basically, my couch for the recliner and my subwoofer. And I have it hooked up to a battery here. This is all temporary until I put it outside. I have a couple chickens and I'm gonna basically power their new coop with this so that way they can have like a heated water bowl in the winter and stuff so it doesn't freeze, and a light. But here's the charge controller. I ended up getting a new one because I had a different one here. This one, it doesn't really give you a whole lot of information. I mean, you just know that it's charging and whether or not the battery is, full or not full, or if you have a load hooked up to it or anything. And I didn't really like it all that much, so I ended up getting this one. It had a couple more, options with it and some USB outputs and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And you can turn it off with that power button there. Basically, I just have the two wires from the panels coming in, hooked up in here, and then these two wires I have running to external watt meter, and it's tracking basically how much power I've been using. And I had a little bit of downtime with it when I was taking everything apart, like a couple days, because I just didn't get around to hooking it up together. But right now it looks like we're putting out about 50 watts, and basically I've generated 7.715 kilowatt hours, which is pretty cool. It's not I think it's less than $2 that I've saved, and I've spent $300-400 so far and everything, or somewhere around there. But I got all this stuff on Amazon, and it's just a little better than having to pay like an electrician to come in and like hook up everything to your house, and it just seems expensive that way. But I have a light hooked up to it, my amp. Here's my inverter that I have hooked up to the battery. And I charge USB stuff, phone, tablet, set of headphones I have. But I can run everything at once with this. I mean, it really, even with just the one panel, it did really, really well. And I never killed the battery completely. And as of right now, where are we? Come on, focus. I think it's a little too bright. Let's try. There you go. So I got this little battery gauge to tell me, where my battery is at, and let's see what else. It's just a deep cycled AGM battery. They work pretty well. I think this one's 35 amp hours, so it'll last. I'll run the subwoofer and the couch, and it'll run for like a couple days. It. I want to get a larger battery bank, but that's down the road, and that's a lot of money. But that's pretty much where I'm at with my project, and it's worked really well. I just hooked up the second panel yesterday, and it was really crappy out, so I haven't seen it run full power. But on one of the panels, on a couple days when it was real snowy, like after a snowstorm, I had ended up getting somewhere around 98 watts for a little while. I think a lot of the light was reflecting off of all the snow. And I have like a white garage and white house and all that, so all that light was just reflecting straight back to the panel, and I had never seen it hit that before until I had all the snow. Because before I would get maybe somewhere in the 80 watt, 86 watts maybe, but it jumped up, 10 watts for an extended period of time. It wasn't just like it was peaking; it was holding at 98 watts, which I thought was pretty cool. Oh, and I have these hook attached, just with those command strips, so I could take them off at any time. So I didn't feel like permanently putting it there because I'm gonna eventually move this to do something else. And my house used to have speaker wires, speaker cables all over the place. So I ran the wire in through one of the speaker jacks, and it happened to work out perfectly for where I was gonna hook everything up. I guess I can show you the couch. Everything's working pretty good, and you can hear the fan running on my inverter there. But yeah, I mean, it works good. So, there you have it.